social scientists have spent considerable amount of time and energy has been spent specifically on infusing intelligence into emotion. Social scientists were recently now in the search of understanding both the basic nature of man himself and the way he works, the way he behaves, relates to the society and organization, fellow human beings in the organizational setting and social setting. The earliest studies of Thaler and others in this respect focused many on technical efficiency based on job analysis and time motions studies and fitting the man into the task. But the modern approach adopted by the psychology based systems of social psychology and individual psychology, which has brought out wonderful and most useful concepts to the society in analyzing and a method of infusing intelligence into emotion. The idea of emotional intelligence dimension to emotion is a relatively recent one in a world where emotion somehow has been traditionally viewed as a mental state of devoid of reasoning, but which is not actually so. It is not surprising then that the domain of business has been associated with a hard headed approach, cold logic, and ruthless pursuit of self interest with little use or for emotion. The perception, which is unfortunately lopsided, has dominated the overwhelming prediction in our cultural value system for intelligence in the rational sense. The most important is of an integrated view of intelligence, balancing the rational and emotional facets of the human mind. This is very, very important as in understanding the present social order, organizational culture, and leading the person to the right tune to the society, right tunes of an organization to achieve a specific objective, above all, in preparing the modern young people into proper and better citizens in the society. Howard Gardner, a psychologist at the Harvard School of Education, in his book Frames of Mind, identifies a wide spectrum of intelligences with 7 key variants. His list includes, apart from the standard academic kinds, verbal, numerical, logical reasoning, etc. Mentioned above, the spatial capacity seen in an outstanding artist or an architect. The kinesthetic genius displayed in a ballet dancer or a hockey or a soccer wizard. Musical gifts of great composers, personal intelligences, and interpersonal skills like those of a great leader, and with less fanfare. The inner contentment that arises from attuning life to be in keeping with one's true feelings. Once again, I read this sentence, which is crux of this talk. The contentment, that is the inner contentment that arises from attuning life to be in keeping with one's true feelings. That is, in tuning one's life to according to his true feelings. That is what is emotional, that is harmonizing intelligence with emotion. In fact, in ancient days, Aristotle, a philosophical inquiry into virtue, character, and the good life, he focused, among other things, on the challenge of managing our emotional life with intelligence, on the ground that our passions, when held in check and appropriately exercised, have wisdom. They guide our thinking, our values, our survival, and success. Aristotle recognized with the characteristic perspective that emotions can easily run wild. As he saw it, the problem is not with emotionality but with the appropriateness of the emotion. In other words, we can, if we can, or how can we infuse intelligence into our emotion? And in a larger perspective, how can we inculcate to our young and essential human competencies that are useful to the society and are associated with emotional intelligence, such as self awareness, self control, and capacity, and the arts of human relationships, listening, resolving conflicts, and cooperation between individuals, understanding between individuals. Unfortunately, these skills are as yet to be recognized and they are to be attained only through outside the curriculum of any formal learning process in our educational institutions, even work organizations, with disastrous results in our society. Because as on today, society, as individuals, as groups, and as society, it is not able to properly infuse confidence into the emotions and harmonizing the life according to the tunes and necessities of the society. Further, Gardner categorizes these qualities under what calls interpersonal intelligence, the ability to understand other people. This also, once again, I repeat, the ability to understand other people, what motivates them, how they behave, and how they work cooperatively with the other people in the society. Interpersonal intelligence, a correlative ability turned inward. It's a beautiful definition. Interpersonal intelligence, a correlative ability turned inward, which is the key to self knowledge and includes access to one's own feelings and the ability to discriminate among them and draw upon them to guide behavior, which is the present day societal need. In sum, these abilities may be classified in several ways. Number one, knowing one's own emotions, that is self awareness. Managing emotions, that is handling feelings so that they are appropriate. Marshalling emotions in the service of a goal or motivating oneself, an essential ingredient of every sort of accomplishment in a society. Recognized emotions. Recognizing emotions, in other words, the human quality of empathizing in a society, which is very, very essential. Handling relationships, the art of managing emotions in others. Not only managing emotions in ourselves, but art of managing the emotions of others is also a very important thing in a present day society. In a contemporary social context and even business context, attitudes rooted in the perception that management of an organization or a society demands the head but not the heart, or that feeling, empathy, and compassion are somehow antithetic to pursuing organizational goals have become outmoded. This feeling is outmoded, and now the order of the day, the societal need as on today is to harmonizing your emotions by infusing intelligence and harmonizing it in the beautiful context of the society and for the use of the society or in an organization wherein you are working. Peter Drucker, the management messiah, who coined the phrase knowledge worker, notes that exponential growth of knowledge work generated by information technology. Teams become the work unit rather than the individual himself. Once a guide to read this. Teams become the work unit rather than the individual himself. This would mean that emotional intelligence, the skills and the help people harmonize and make for a happier learning and work environment all round should become increasingly valued as a workplace asset, as an asset to the social work in the years to come. Thank you very much.